Good morning, School of Light. It is Monday, November 12th, right? The 12th. And today is a sad day or somber day because we're burying my cousin. And let me tell you a little bit about the School of Light is if you don't know. We are a nonprofit ministry, study through the Bible correspondence course that is free to our students. We have it set up for ages 4 all the way through adults. We have families, teenagers, adults, prison ministry, incarcerated people. And if you're within the United States, it's so simple. You just let us know you want the studies. We send them to you in the mail. You have prepaid, pre-stamped, addressed envelopes. You put your answers in there. You send it back. We put it in your file. Once you complete a series, we give you certificates of completion. Enough of those, and some of them can even yield college credits or transfer to college credits. Chapter 8 in Numbers. The Lord said to Moses, Speak to Aaron and say to him, When you set up the 7 lamps, they are to light the area in front of the lampstand. Aaron did so. He set up the lamps so that they faced forward on the lampstand, just as the Lord commanded Moses. This is how the lampstand was made. It was made of hammered gold from its base to its blossoms. The lampstand was made exactly like the pattern the Lord had shown Moses. The Lord said to Moses, Take the Levites from among the other Israelites and make them ceremonially clean to purify themselves. Do this. Sprinkle the water of cleansing on them, then have them shave their whole body and wash their clothes, and so purify themselves. Have them take a young bull with its grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil. Then you are to take a second young bull for a sin offering. Bring the Levite to the front of the tent of meeting and assemble the whole Israelite community. You are to bring the Levites before the Lord, and the Israelites are to lay their hands on them. Aaron is to present the Levites before the Lord as a wave offering from the Israelites so that they may be ready to do the work of the Lord. After the Levites lay their hands on the heads of the bulls, use the one for the sin offering to the Lord and the other a burnt offering to make atonement for the Levites. Have the Levites stand in front of Aaron and his sons and then present them as a wave offering to the Lord. In this way you are set to set the Levites apart from the other Israelites, and the Levites will be mine. After you have purified the Levites and presented them as a wave offering, they are to come to do their work at the tent of meeting. They are the Israelites who are to be given wholly to me. I have taken them as my own in place of the firstborn, the first male offspring from every Israelite woman, every firstborn male in Israel, whether man or animal, is mine. When I struck down all the firstborn in Egypt, I set them apart for myself, and I have taken the Levites in place of all the firstborn sons of Israel. Of all the Israelites, I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and his sons to do the work at the tent of meeting on behalf of the Israelites and to make atonement for them so that no plague will strike the Israelites when they go near the sanctuary. Moses, Aaron, and the whole Israelite community did with the Levites just as the Lord commanded Moses. The Levites purified themselves and washed their clothes. Then Aaron presented them as a wave offering before the Lord and made atonement for them to purify them. After that, the Levites came to do their work at the tent of meeting under the supervision of Aaron and his sons. They did with the Levites just as the Lord commanded Moses. The Lord said to Moses, This applies to the Levites, men 25 years old or more shall come to take part in the work of the tent of meeting. But at the age of 50, they must retire from the regular service and work no longer. They may assist their brothers in performing the duties of the tent of meeting, but they themselves must not do the work. This is then how you are to assign the responsibilities of the Levites. Wow, pretty interesting. The Lord spoke to Moses in the desert of Sinai in the first month of the second year after they came out of Egypt. He said, Have the Israelite celebrate the Passover at the appointed time. Celebrate it at the appointed time at twilight on the 14th day of this month in accordance with all the rules and regulations. So Moses told the Israelites to celebrate the Passover, and they did so in the desert of Sinai at twilight on the 14th day of the first month. The Israelites did everything just as the Lord commanded Moses. But some of them could not celebrate the Passover on that day because they were ceremonially unclean on account of a dead body. So they came to Moses and Aaron that same day and said to Moses, "We have become unclean because of a dead body, but why should we be kept from presenting the Lord's offering with the other Israelites at the appointed time?" Moses answered them, "Wait until I find out what the Lord commands concerning you." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites, when any of you or your descendants are unclean because of a dead body or are away on a journey, they may still celebrate the Lord's Passover. They are to celebrate it on the 14th day of the second month at twilight. They are to eat the lamb together with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They must not leave any of it until morning or break any of its bones. When they celebrate the Passover, they must follow all the regulations. But if a man who is ceremonially clean and not on a journey fails to celebrate the Passover, that person must be cut off from his people because he did not present the Lord's offering at the appointed time. That man will bear the consequence of his sin. An alien living among you who wants to celebrate the Lord's Passover must do so in accordance with its rules and regulations. You must have the same regulations for the alien and the native born." So, in other words, the Passover, the lamb was a foreshadow of Christ. And what they did in Exodus is they were instructed by God to kill the lamb, have this Passover, and with the blood of the lamb and hyssop, they would put, which is like a dry plant, like a broom type of material, like a paintbrush, I guess. They would apply it to the door frames or the posts of the doors. And the analogy here with Christ, thousands of years later, is them saying, in my case, I accept Christ and his work and passion and his death on the cross and place in my sin. And he, when I do that, maybe like in the spirit realm, there is his blood, the blood of the Lamb of God on the doorpost of my spirit, of my soul, of my life. And so the destroyer, which was in the Old Testament, which killed the firstborn, once they saw the blood on the door frame post, it would pass. But if it wasn't on the door frame, it would go in and kill the firstborn. Now, we aren't multiple people and have, firstborn. We're just born when we're born. So what does that mean? Well, I think it has something to do with eternal destruction, which is worse than the first death. So the next chapter would be chapter 10 in Numbers. I'm going to go ahead and close this for the day. We have a funeral to attend to and support for the family. Tune in next time. God bless.